Here's a segment from a recent Gun Talk radio episode. You can listen to all the Gun Talk radio podcasts however you tune in, or check out guntalk.com for more. There are, by most accounts, something on the order of 12 to 14 million people who have bought their first gun over the last 2.5 years. People who never owned a gun before. And I bet you about 99% of those are buying it for self-protection, for whatever reason. Whether they saw the riots on TV that made them nervous, or just generally things not going the way they want, and they bought a gun. But what do they know about using a gun? Or what do they know about the legal aspects of using a gun in self-defense? In fact, there are a lot of people who have had guns for many, many years. You may be one of them, who think you know about this, but unfortunately, a lot of the stuff in your head is just flat wrong. Old wives' tales, stuff you picked up from sources you don't even know. A lot of the junk in our heads comes from TV and movies, and almost everything they do with guns is wrong, and all the information they have about when you can, when you can't shoot, what to do if you get into a shoot, all of it's wrong. And about 99.100% of what you read on the internet is wrong as well. You need, I'm just going to say, you need some information. You need to educate yourself. Marty Hayes is a good friend, known him a long time. He created the Armed Citizens Legal Defense Network. It's a group. It helps people with this education as well as helping them with their protection. Marty, how are you, sir? It's good to talk with you.
I am doing great, Tom. Good to talk to you.
Absolutely. So, okay, Armed Citizens Legal Defense Network. You notice that when I was doing the introduction, I'm trying to play up the idea that a lot of what you do is education. You got like a whole bunch of videos, lectures, a big book to know what's justifiable, what to expect, how to interact with the police, with the criminal justice system. I mean, I call it intellectual ammunition, because if you have all of that, maybe you're not even going to need some help with legal defense. Is that fair?
Well, that is our premise. Before we even signed up our first member, we had cut 3 DVDs to basically go over the rules of the road. We sent those out to our members. They were so popular that we're now up to 9 educational DVDs, which actually are no longer DVDs, but thumb drives.
Right.
And
right.
And we've got an emerging YouTube presence. It's not great. It's not like some of the other companies, but we like to think that what we're saying out there is the God's truth.
Well, and you tap into some of the leading experts in the field for your advisory board. Beside of you, John Farnham, Tom Givens, it just goes on and on. I mean, and not to mention you, who, with all of your law enforcement background, as well as having a law degree, you can address this from a number of different perspectives and a lot of history. I love this phrase from, was it Louis Auerbach, says, you win 100% of the gunfights you don't get into.
Right. Some of these companies out there that are advertising the same type of program, although they're insurance-based and we're not, but they claim that they're very happy to have defended a murder case and won. Well, awesome, great, but we've been in the business now for, I think, 13 years, and we've never had a murder case. Our members don't get involved in those. And if they do get involved in a shooting, then it's always gone away.
Okay. Well, so, all right, give me a heads up. Just an idea of what you tell people. Somebody is forced into it, gets into a self-defense shooting. What do people generally do wrong right off the bat?
They generally blabber on to the police about everything they can remember about the incident. And that is the worst thing that they can do. They need to tell the police, starting with the 911 operator, the bare facts as far as what happened. The man attacked me with that knife laying there, and I had to defend myself. And that's all you'd have to say. Not how far away he was, not whether he was going or coming, or what he said prior to it, just that. So the police understand that, okay, I'm investigating an attack with a knife, not a murder.
Well, but isn't it like this overwhelming compulsion to want to just talk and talk and talk?
Yep. And guess what? We're humans, and we can train our way through that, and we don't have to follow our instincts 100%.
Okay, so I know people say, well, just don't say anything. Well, that's not right either. I know Masada talks about that. He says, look, there are some certain things that you need to tell them to make them understand that you were attacked and you were actually the victim here.
Right. If you don't tell them anything, then they've got a dead body and a smoking gun, and absent any other information, you're a murderer.
Ah, okay. So, all right. So what does the Legal Defense Network actually do for people?
Well, again, the education is the big component. But if one of our members is involved in a self-defense incident, it doesn't have to be a shooting. Years ago, one of our members defended himself using a golf club. Well, anyway, yes.
Okay.
It was from another guy this is on the golf course, of course.
Holy cow. Oh, my God.
But anyway, what we do basically is we'll obtain the bare bones facts of the incident, and we'll make sure that it's a reasonably good case of self-defense. And then if that's the case, if it's not a crime of murder or manslaughter, we'll go ahead and start putting together the assistance for what that member needs. If he needs an attorney, then we'll track one down for him. If he's got his own attorney, then we'll touch bases and we'll fund his legal defense.
You actually have bail assistance if you need that. You know, one of the things is people say, well, I've got an attorney. Well, it's one of those yes, but things. You may have an attorney, but your attorney may not really understand this particular area. And if they say, well, I've got a good criminal defense attorney, well, unfortunately, a lot of criminal defense attorneys, I would submit, may not ever have actually defended somebody who was innocent, who was a good guy, and they don't really know how to do that. Is that a fair representation?
I think so, yeah.
It's a different deal when you got somebody who's actually the good guy.
You don't get a lot of education in law school on how to defend justifiable homicide cases. Those attorneys that are experienced at it are just that experienced, not educated. They may have done a few of them, and now they know the rules of the road, so to speak.
Interesting. So you'll put a team together and go ahead and start the process. And I mean, I should just say, look, right up front, long before you were a sponsor of the show or anything else, I was paying you money to be a member of this for both me and my wife. I believe in what you do. I believe in the team you put together and how you approach it. And so I have been a paying customer for a long time, and a member of the Armed Citizens Legal Defense Network. So that's kind of my endorsement of the deal. Is I was there with my wallet on the front end.
Yes, you were. Yeah.
So, all right. So what's this thing cost? How do people get involved?
It's really expensive up front, $135.
Not expensive at all.
That includes all of your educational material. And then to renew, it's a whopping $95 a year.
Yeah, you're talking about like 3 boxes of 30-06 ammo now, maybe 2.
Yeah.
Kidding.
30 cents a day. Yeah.
Okay, very good.
Hey, what
the
you're
website
buying,
is
basically, you're buying peace of mind. That's what you're buying.
Yes, exactly right. You got a team behind you. The website is armedcitizensnetwork.org. Let me give it again, armedcitizensnetwork.org. Does that work for you?
That works for me.
All right, good deal. All right, well, I'm just going to say I recommend it, so much so that I've been a member from the very beginning and believe in what you do, because nobody has a team like you do. It's just amazing when you look at the names, you go, oh, that's like the A-team. That's the best group you could ever put together. So thank you for what you do. And I know it's a labor of love, and it's something that comes from the heart for you and your team. So I just appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Tom.
Absolutely. Marty Hayes, thank you so much. Armed Citizens Legal Defense Network. Check it out, armedcitizensnetwork.org.